is also a tech editor, and she's also a knit and crochet designer. I am offering the Knitters Guild members $200 off if they sign up between now and next Saturday. I have the flyers here along with the discount code if you're interested. And then as always, we are always offering a variety of classes. Our newest instructor that has joined our lineup is not knitting, I'm sorry, but he's actually an internationally known weaving instructor that travels the country and the world. His name is John Malarkey, and he is going to start teaching because he actually lives in St. Louis and was referred to me by the Weavers Guild of St. Louis. So I'm very excited about that. And then the final thing, which is not local yarn news, but for the Midwest Fiber Festival, if anyone has classes that they are wanting to propose, proposals close at the end of this month, and the committee will start selecting those next month. So if you have something that you would like to propose, I would strongly recommend you get your application in, and if you need assistance or have questions about that, I'm happy to talk to you about that later. Thank you.
Heather. Anything else that anybody knows about?
I'd like to promote the yarn tastings. There's one at YarnCon coming up, as well as Yarn Together in Washington, Missouri.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you, May. That's another really big, everybody decided to come to St. Louis this fall, and my brain is actually trashed right now. Shannon Dunbabin is the owner of Cascade Yarns with her husband, Rob. And she is actually coming to St. Louis the last Saturday of the month in the morning. She is doing a color work theory class. It's free, but you have to pre-register because we only have 30 spots. And all you have to do is bring your knitting needles, and she's going to be talking about how to put color together, and you're going to be using Cascade 220 yarn samples that she's going to have for you to play around with different color values and really doing a deep dive into that. And then in the afternoon, she's doing a yarn tasting where you're going to be able to try out a variety. I think they've got 20 to 25 yarns on the lineup, and that's for 2 hours. That's also free. That also requires pre-registration. I know that the yarn tasting already has 10 spots taken, so there's 20 left, and the color has 25 spots right now left. But everything is free, all the supplies are free, and Cascade always brings a ton of giveaways. So if you like free stuff, that's another great opportunity. And then yeah, I know Carmen's got Morocco yarn tasting. Is that next weekend, I think?
It's on a Thursday night, I think.
Oh, okay. So
It's on Facebook, on her Facebook
Yep.
page.
And I think these are great opportunities to go along with our contest, our design contest. If you've got something in mind but you don't have it really firmed up yet, if you're thinking of designing in color or this exposes you to some new yarns maybe that you haven't seen before, I think this is a great opportunity to really do something cool that might win the prizes, the fabulous prizes that we haven't announced yet. Okay, one other contest that I want to remind you about, because you have to enter by October 1st. This is going to be your last reminder, okay? But there is a TKGA neck and neck design contest where you make things that would go on your neck, like a towel or a scarf or something like that. So if you've got a cool design that you've been using maybe for a long time and you want to win a contest, this could be one way to do that through TKGA. Knitting community news, we kind of already did that with the local yarn shop. Does anybody have anything else that they want to share about our local community? Uh-oh, oh, this is what happens. Alrighty, now the business part. Minutes from the last meeting were in the newsletter. Does anybody have any changes to those minutes? If not, would anybody like to move that we approve them? Ah, Sarah would like to move. Anybody second that? Oh, Jody seconded there. Thank you very much, ladies. Oops, I went too far. Oops, now it's doing this thing. Okay, we'll go with it. Also, the treasurer's report was in the newsletter. That's what it was going to say. That didn't come up. Oh, now I'm mad. The treasurer's report was in the newsletter. Does anybody have any questions about the treasurer's report? No questions about that. So that'll be submitted for audit. Okay, and now, the reason it's upset is because this is about the upcoming meetings, and of course, what's our next meeting? Founders Day luncheon, right? And so let's see if any of this is gonna work now. Well, you're just gonna have to look at it like on Facebook or something, because it doesn't wanna show. It's really awesome. It's got pictures of our former luncheons that should entice you to go, because you get to meet old friends, you get to make some, that's the audio. Also, there are awesome raffle prizes. I don't know if May might show us a few of those. Yeah, show us some samples of that. That's more of that tense music that's like, ooh, you really want to go? Yeah, more of that. You really want to go. It's an awesome place. Lots of you have been to the place before, to the location before. Our numbers have been a little bit low. It's really easy to get to. In the movie that isn't playing, there's a QR code that will take you straight to the application. So I will put that out on Ravelry, and I will put that out on Facebook. So at least the QR code, as well as the video, so you can see it, because it's cool, and I did spend time on it. And so you can go to those places, but also to sign up for the luncheon, to really just sign up for the luncheon and not see the awesome video, all you have to do is go to our website. There's a great big blue button right in the top center section that says sign up for the luncheon, and all you have to do is punch on that. Oh, isn't that great? Okay.
And there are forms over here that also include the link that you could type in for PayPal.
Great. Thank you. Now it won't play it. There we go. Okay, now time for the business reports. Oh, it works here and now it's not there. Regardless, we can still read it from here. Do you want to go first? That's okay. It's just the
Sure.
business meetings. You were here, so I thought you
Yeah,
would go first.
for our educational program, I had to stop and think
Do
where I
you
was
need,
for
can
a
you guys
second.
hear him or do you need this?
Can you hear me okay in the back? Bart has agreed, I just spoke with him earlier today, to do his doll presentation in January. He's busy through November and December, so he can't do that. I talked with one, is she still here, Rhonda?
No, she left.
She okay? She may be doing a presentation in November about design features, and she has a business where she does hand knitting but with a machine. So she might be able to talk to us about that in November. Anybody want to do December? I saw somebody raise their hand back there where they were just stretching the yarn out from their skein. So don't do that while I'm asking for volunteers. So if you have a topic that you think will be interesting for our group, let me know about it, and I'll see what we can do to arrange something to present in December. Okay, that's all I kind of have right now.
Thank you, John.
Reminder about the contest, where today Heather is here to talk about some design elements that we need to consider, so if you have anything relative to that, be happy to hear it. Okay, thank you.
Covering a lot of things. One of our members was here early and went to the library. Guess what she found? Books that she had never seen on knitting. There's lots of patterns in here, and these are available to check out here and at several other libraries. Let's see. The raffle. I have sign-up sheets here. There's one on the table as well. I'm going to pass.
Can everybody hear May, or do you need the mic?
The sign-up sheet is to help organize the raffle items. At the moment, many of the raffle items are like this right here. And we don't want to put this whole bag out just this way. We want to find out what's in it and make it more interesting.
And I did peek in the bag. There's awesome stuff in there.
Yes, there is. It was donated by Kate Sanders.
It's
And
lovely.
some of it will come back here for prizes through the hostess and through the attendance prizes. So on this sheet, I'm also sending around a book to be able to write on if you want to look through it. This is one of the books that will be available for a silent auction. We have several that in the library that we've decided nobody's been using them. So if you're interested in them, you can look through this to get an idea of what they are. And we will have those at the luncheon.
Excuse me, May,
Mm-hmm.
which volume is that?
This one is volume 4, but I have 2 others of the same type of thing, but they're older. Instead of being one of the 4 volumes, it's one of her some of her early ones that just have a little bit of everything. So on this, I would like your name and a way to contact you, whether that's an email or a phone number. On Tuesday this week, the Knit-In in Baldwin is going to meet at Daniel Boone Library and go through all of our raffle items. Well, most of them anyway. And I could use some more help. What we need to do is to put them together so we have yarn for a sweater and we have a possible pattern you could use along with some needles or some notions. So that's what we need. I'll need help setting up just before the luncheon, people to sell tickets, and cleanup. So if you're willing to sign up for any of that, put your name on there and I'll send you information on it.
If you volunteer, are you allowed to buy tickets
Oh,
and win
yeah.
prizes?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you will have your
Because there's a
first
random
choice.
drawing
Pick out
anyway,
which
so.
ones you want. And on the 17th, we will be tearing that up so we don't have to sit there and tear 6 tickets off at the meeting, at the luncheon.
And I've gone to these things before where we prepare, and it's really kind of good practice if you want to get things at the raffle, because then you'll know where all the good stuff is already, because you help put it
So
together.
this is the sign up to help you at the Founder's Day lunch?
No, before.
Or the Tuesday,
For the Tuesday.
this Tuesday, the 17th. There's 2 of them going around, one on this side and one on that, so.
And Alice has a
Is there a
question.
specific time that the
What time
Daniel
is the
Boone meetup
17th?
is?
Yeah, it'll be 12:30 to 3.
Okay.
So, one of them needs to stay over here. I think we got both over here. Yeah, so when you get through. There. Also, we have things coming. Heather hasn't been able to get hers together yet, but she's planning a gift for us for the raffle. And this one is from, which one is this?
Maybe you know that.
Fiber and Threads Needle Crafts in Illinois. It includes a $25 gift certificate to their shop and some yarn. Here are some of the things that we have. This nice little book, or bag, would be great for knitting socks. And there's even enough needles here to start. So who likes bright yarn for socks? And I have more than one skein of sock yarn, so you could choose different ones. This is another sock yarn. This is a little thicker, so you would be able to use bigger needles on this. And this is one of the books that's been donated that has patterns in it. And this is a kit. Makes a checked towel. It has the yarn and comes in the bag and the pattern. Everything you need to make it. Okay, that's that. Okay. So these are just a sample of the things that we have. Also, we will be collecting things for Haven House. Haven House just sent a letter this week. They have been living in hotels for the last 3 or 4 years. They put up people who come from out of town, either outstate or out of the country, to have medical treatment. And they offer them with volunteers, rides to where they're going. In the past, they've had a place where they could cook meals, and they would offer to have meals for the families that come in. The families that come in from long distances quite often bring more than just a spouse or one other person. They bring families. They've actually had 3 generations come with a grandma. So one of the things that they could use are toys. I noticed we had some kits over there that put the stuffed heads on top of a hat. They would love those. They like to have things that they can give the little ones that they can have as a memory. They like to have things to give for gifts. So what they need is anything you want to make. Scarves, hats, they come from hot equator. They're not going to have access to scarves and hats and sweaters. when it gets cold. Last year, they had somebody who came from Hawaii and they saw their first snow. So that's the kind of things that they need for gifts: socks, towels, maybe even a comfort shawl, so that when they're in the hospital, which is usually cold, they can warm up a little bit. So those are things from Haven House. They have just acquired a house near Slough that they're going to move into, and they need to set that up. They haven't got what they need yet, but some of the things that they might need would be things like pillows to put in the common rooms, or maybe a little Afghan. So if you're into those kind of things, think about making some. This is a cute little pattern. It's very easy, doesn't take much stuffing, just the head is stuffed. And I think it took me a couple of days, among other things I was doing, to make this.
What's that called?
Hmm?
What is that called?
I can't pronounce it.
Noble something?
K-N-U-B-B.
Nubel. Nubelken.
It's a Danish word.
Nubel, something like Nubelken?
Noble.
Hmm?
Noble.
Noble?
It's long.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you only get, I
Yeah,
pronounced what
it
letters
starts
you gave
that
me.
way. You can look it up on Ravelry. What I did was to look up toys, easy,
Okay.
and this is what I got. I'll get the information and we'll get a picture for the newsletter, or put it on the website. So, okay. All right, something else we had. Help Heather out again. History of knitting in the United States. Guess what the theme is for the Midwest Fiber Festival? Miss Heather?
Making history.
Making history. So you can look back at it. This only goes up until about the 70s, 60s or 70s. But it starts with including moving west, knitting for the west. Knitting gray and knitting blue.
It starts with the pilgrims coming over.
Mhm.
Actually,
So there's all kinds of things.
it's
Some people have found this in the library, so you can request it in the library system. John's already got one saved out. I have one,
I got one from the library.
and Mary has one from the library. So those are things, if you have one, I think there was somebody else who had one, maybe you could pick a chapter and just give us a review of one chapter. It is not something that's going to be like reading at night, but maybe something that you could read while you're knitting or waiting for transportation.
It's good for a night if you have insomnia.
Oh. That's a cure.
You mean it'll put you to sleep? Oh dear.
Any questions about the luncheon? One other thing I found, we have lots of yarns over there. Has anybody made a Helix hat?
Yes.
These look like stripes, but there's no job. And we have patterns here.
Swirl around until you're
So
done.
basically, you pick a hat pattern, and you make the bottoms. Then you decide how many colors you're going to have. I actually have one that's called a rainbow hat. It has 15 colors in it. But you take the number of stitches that you have, divide it by the number of yarns, different colors that you have, and you start knitting. The only thing is, never twist your yarns. I did, and it's noticeable. So you just knit up to where there's a color change, pick up the other yarn and start knitting without twisting it. So each one of these then is a spiral all the way up.
And the pattern is on Ravelry and it's free.
Yeah, and there's more than one.
Yes.
I've made
So,
a bunch of them.
hmm?
I've made a bunch of them.
Yeah, but they
They're
use
great
up.
for scraps.
Mhm.
Yes.
They're really good because you can use whatever's in. I didn't think these would go together, but I happened to fall into some yarn at a D-stash. She didn't want to take it home. These were all things she had left over from something else that she had made. So I got them instead and decided I'd make a hat for you.
Okay, what was the pattern again?
Helix.
Helix. There's more than one type. And there's a recipe for it, and then there are individual patterns. One other one that I found was called a rainbow hat. And that gives you some good information too.
You can use as many colors as you're willing to tie in ends.
Yeah, because you only have to tie in ends at the beginning and the end. You never
If you've
cut
got
the
enough
yarn
for
from
the
the
whole
bottom to the top. Anything else? Okay. I will leave.
Sarah,
My turn. Oh, thank thank you everybody for, not to, who donated yarn and also who donated all those lovely items over there. We have a stack of stuff, as usual, thank you. If anybody knows of any organizations that needs hats, please let Joan know, Joan Rangel, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name right even, yeah. Because she'll distribute, she'll just make sure they get distributed and everything. We're nearing the end of the year, so we'll start counting the hats in the next few months and get them to the organizations that need them and want them. So if you do know of an organization that needs hats, let Joan know. Also, keep knitting those hats, scarves, headbands, mittens are welcome, whatever, anything's welcome. And as May said, Haven House can use, whatever you've made as well. So, thank you for that. Let's see, Helix hats, May talked about that. What else did I have? Oh, yes, Pam. Look at these. Are these not the cutest? I'm really tempted to take them home and put them on my cats, but they no, they
Don't
fit.
try that.
I'm not. I like my eyes where they are, and I like,
You like your body
yeah,
in one
in one piece, exactly. I don't want to be shredded, but anyway, Pam is working on a pattern for the next newsletter for these, and they're just so cute. So, do you want to say a few words?
So there's 100 pairs of socks needed for a program, a military program called Little Patriots Embrace. That's what I'm gonna put in the newsletter.
Okay.
So and also, I will have a recipe for those particular ones written up. That uses sock yarn with size 1 needles. I want to develop a DK weight on needles that's going to work. That particular project needs no wool or animal fibers of any sort. I have totes of sock yarn with superwash wool in it and very limited cotton blend, acrylic, and sock weight yarn. But you can always find acrylic baby weight, which is a kind of a DK. So that's all I'm going to say. Read your newsletter.
Stay tuned, yes, okay. Also, there's still plenty of yarn over there. Take what you want. Again, it is for charity items, but I still see a whole bunch over there. So the less I have to take home, the better. So dig in. Library books. So we took the library book list off, August 5th? I think that came off, yeah.
Yes.
I've had a few requests for books. They're priced very competitively. A lot of them are $4, $6, etc. If you do want the list, I do have it still. It's not on the website, but if you're interested in looking at it and buying any of the library books, let me know.
Does your list have the prices?
I will put the prices in, yeah. And that was, we looked at kind of the recommended prices across a couple of different sources. Pam actually did that. And like I said, they're very, very, very reasonable. So anyway, if you're interested, let me know and I will send you the information. So, and that was it from me.
Pam, do you have anything?
One of the things that I'm going to put in the newsletter is information about a thing that we as a nonprofit have to have, which is a registered agent. I didn't know anything about a registered agent, but our registered agent is a contact for the Secretary of State of Missouri. And to have that our registered agent currently is a legal firm that charges us $140 a year. We are a very small nonprofit in the scheme of things, and we can have one of our members perhaps And some of you are more familiar with registered agents than I am, but I know, I've learned a lot. Anyway, the registered agent is not a legal representative, it's a part of contact. That's their only function. It can be anybody of good standing with a stable physical address. Unfortunately, they don't take post box, because we could give them that, couldn't we? But no, it has to be a physical, someone with a physical address. I will get more information in the newsletter. I'm looking for a volunteer.
What would be the responsibility?
As a point of contact only, no legal responsibility. You have to, if they can't, the Secretary of State cannot contact the 6 people that we have to list, at that point, that is the only real reason that we have to have a registered agent. So,
Yeah, basically you will never hear
you
from
will
any,
never.
I mean, unless the IRS decides to go after a bunch of old people who are knitting for charity. I'm sorry, I'm speaking only of myself, of course.
And the only thing that a registered agent has to do is make sure that they can contact Mary. And, you know, if we're in trouble, but they're just a conduit. That's the only thing. So, but I'll give you more information in the newsletter.
Diane, do you have any membership information for us that you want to talk about?
I'll just stand here because it's easier.
That's fine.
Okay. Our membership is 198 this month. And I did get a couple, we did get one new member, Alice McKenna. Are you here? Alice, I need to see you in a little bit, you know. And I do have a couple of name tags to give out this month for Lynn Phillips, Sonia Kleiman, and Christina Oswald. They're here. And there. That's it.
Thank you,
Oh,
Diane.
No, one more
Oh,
thing.
one more.
Linda Thomas and Bonnie Marshall, their emails bounced back, and I haven't been able to get a hold of them.
So if anybody knows them, if they could let them know
I'm going
that,
to try, I believe I tried to call Linda Thompson. Bonnie's just bounced back yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to call her.
I can get a hold of Bonnie.
Okay,
Yeah,
Perfect.
I've got her number. She lives right around
okay, yeah, and I haven't tried to call her, but,
okay, yeah, let me know what you want me to,
okay.
yeah, you just want her email address, right?
Or some way I can kind of, you know, and like I said, I haven't tried to call her yet.
Well, okay. I just have her phone number, so.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll try and call her if I can't.
Okay.
Figure out something else. That's it.
thanks, Diane. And we have a substitute hospitality princess for the day. The crown isn't here. Oh, you're gonna be the hospitality princess for the day? Okay.
We have prizes.
Ooh.
These first few are from Heather because they relate to our program. Number 1 is knitting stitches, a year, a stitch a day. Alice Springer. I promise you, I just can't.
You win everything, even at the Knitters Guild, Alice.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I won something.
Hold on, I gotta take a picture of this. That's way too good.
We do have 53 members attending today. Susan Sneed.
Oh.
Susan, that's my book I just published, so if you'd like me to sign it, I'm happy to do that.
Okay, I'll do that.
Beth Friedman.
Thank you.
You want to pass this one? Reomne, Reommne.
Okay, you got that same
You get a mini skating squad.
Thank you.
And the next two are yarn that has been donated to us. Jane Bethke.
We all need more yarn somehow.
Joanne Archibald. Joanne? This is probably soft enough I can throw it. It's nice and soft though.
Did she catch it? No, she conked in the head.
Just brush your head. All right, we have three visitors. Elaine McKenna. Stand up. We appreciate you being here. We have a Rhonda, but I didn't get a last name.
She's gone.
She's gone, okay. And a Cindy. Now you're a former member, I recognize you. So we welcome our visitors and encourage you to join up and check the website for knit-ins to get to know other members. Thank you.
Thank you, May. And now it's time, drum roll, for the show and share. Oh, do you have a question?
Somebody forgot to announce we have a visitor. Was it already done?
Yeah. Sorry, that's all right. Oh, and by the way, as people are gathering for show and share, this was left in the library room 2 months ago. If it looks familiar to you, please come and get it. I've carried it around all this time. Yeah, it's actually really nice. It's a Brita filter water bottle, so. Okay, so are you the only show and share? We gotta have more. No,
Well, I
here
want to
comes.
congratulate Heather on producing her first book. I saw her unwrapping it on Instagram. So now I have to look at it. So you can buy these at her shop up at.
And I brought some
And
today.
she brought some today, but you can't exchange money, so you'll have to just meet her on the parking lot.
Yeah.
So anyway,
We'll just send you an invoice.
okay. Thank you. I just have a couple of things. This is my little snuggle bunny that I made. It's just you do have to make the little bunny's head and his little arms, but the rest of it is just a little snuggle thing. And this is the flax sweater, which is, you know, just basic top-down knitting, and it has a little bit of garter stitch on the sleeves. But anyway, that's all I have made. But this is a fun little sweater to make. Doesn't use a lot of yarn.
Thanks, Joe.
Oh, thank
Thank you. Look, it's naturally curly in the back. Oh my gosh. I know, the top layer is flat, but the underneath is curly, so I got it all chopped off. Thank you. This is called Ariane Hood, I think. It's a Welsh name. She's the goddess of motherhood. But I've never done a circular lace. Beautiful. It's my first circle. Took a long time, but I think it turned out well. It's a fun thing to do if you ever want to try a new technique. Do lace in the round.
How would you wear it?
I've seen it a couple of different ways. So you can definitely do this. It's long, and this is a small. The pattern is small, medium, large. This is a small.
Wow.
So this, or I've done. You kind of fold down a little bit at the top, so then it's not quite as long, and I think I could get a clip in. Yeah. And then some people do circles in half. And I just might throw it over a couch. I don't even know that I'm going to wear it. Table.
Yeah.
No, it's silk. I don't think I'll put it on.
No.
And that's half. That's half. That's gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was fun to do. It's a fun little technique to get it going in the middle with like almost, you know, can't really tell where it starts. Got a fun and a free pattern on Ravelry. Wow. There's some questions.
How many stitches were on the last row?
576, I think. probably 3 weeks of everyday knitting, because it's, so you can pick small, medium, large, and then you can pick 2 edgings, and both edgings are knit on. I picked the shorter one, I think it's 14 rows, and then the other one was 16 rows, and I think you did like 85, 86 times on the edging, 16 rows, 85 or 86 times. The other one, this is more of a straight edge, which I really like, the other one is pointed, but yeah, so you can kind of customize it a little bit, I think, so. And I bought the yarn from Eileen. Eileen had done, I don't think she's here today, but she had done something in the round, and I bought the remainder of her yarn and had it for like 5 years before I finally decided to use it, but anyway, it's gorgeous.
Who's taking these?
Thank you, Sarah.
Yep.
No other show and shares today? No. Then we're gonna take a 10-minute break. When we come back, Heather's gonna talk to us about design components and considerations and hopefully this will help you when you join our design contest that's coming up.